In this video tour, we're going to give you a comprehensive look at the all-new InkSoft online store platform. Now, this platform is intended to allow you as a print shop and a decorator to quickly set up online stores for any of your selling opportunities. So those opportunities could range from anything from selling to schools and athletic groups, so everything from field day, spirit wear programs, team, uniform programs. The InkSoft powered store platform will allow you to control everything about the store, whether it be the product mix, the pricing, the look and the layout, the feature and function, which we'll get into in a moment. You can also use this platform to satisfy selling company stores and doing fulfillment programs, whether that be apparel or promotional products or a mix of the two, as you can see from the screen now. So really, this platform allows you to be in control of your selling programs and provide an easy way for your customers to do business with you. And the easiest possible way to order printed goods and decorated product is by placing an order on a website. So forget about the old school method, paper-based order forms and invoices. Those methods cause friction. They also introduce the ability to make mistakes in terms of money collection and organizing data to place orders for blank goods and supplies. So all of that friction is removed and made possible by the InkSoft platform. So now let's dig in and take a look at some of the functionality that makes this all a reality. So first thing is, and really the first major component of this new platform, is the ability to create a store quickly. And the way that you'll achieve that is InkSoft's online store creation generator. Now, this generator allows you to quickly configure a store by going one step at a time. So here you can see those steps. You can quickly configure a name for the store, and that name is going to trickle down to packing slips and work orders and email confirmations. So it's going to allow you to distinguish between different stores. So here I can put in a store name. I can control the contact information. I can upload a logo to establish this on the store. I can establish the production schedule, whether I'm going to produce on demand or I'm going to simply ship at a specific date. So this allows you to collect orders from individuals for, say, a month. Then you can close the store automatically or manually, and then you can bulk process all of the orders. So again, that's a major benefit of the online store platform, is to allow folks to place orders individually, yet you are going to be able to compile all the order information and process that seamlessly. Now, shipping methods, you can establish shipping options for your customers like FedEx or UPS, or you can even configure things like pickup. So if you want to, maybe your selling program involves parents picking up their children's soccer uniforms or printed goods at practice, or maybe the homeroom teacher is going to distribute, you can configure shipping and pickup. You can also configure checkout settings. Since every selling opportunity is unique, you can configure how your clients are going to make payment. So that could be allowing for purchase orders. That could be making payment as optional or required, whether you want to prompt for a billing and shipping address. So a lot of options in checkout, including gift messaging, etc. Now, you also have the ability to configure custom checkout fields. I'm actually going to show that to you versus describe it, but this is a great way to collect custom data that you'll need to fulfill and potentially pack and distribute orders. So think about soliciting extra information like coach's name, student name, player last name and number. So this is a great way to, again, organize and collect data that will be meaningful to you in terms of printing, packing, and preparing everything for delivery. Now, store notifications. When an order is placed, how do you want to be notified? You can, of course, establish social media links that will display on the store, and I'll show you more about that as we progress. Store policies. So by regulation and as best practices, you always want policies to display on your website, especially if it's e-commerce. So things like refund and privacy policy. Now, we provide you with some generic policies that you can use, or you can configure your own. You also have the ability to assign a custom domain name to a store. So let's say that this store is going to be open for a year and has national appeal, and you want to give it its own custom domain name. Well, that's possible in the store framework. You can also choose to configure a custom SSL certificate to protect a store, or use your main SSL. And that's great for site security, to encrypt credit card transactions and let your clients know that they're safely checking out. And of course, you can configure products. So again, this is a step-by-step process to quickly configure a store. And I'll just give you an example of completing the first step here. I can configure the name for a store and the website that I want for that store. Then I can progress to the next state where I can enter in the company information. This will adopt your main company information, so you don't even have to enter that, although you can adjust it. Here I can upload a logo and an icon to represent the store. So again, this is a step-by-step process that InkSoft will prompt you through. So really, this can take anywhere from a minute to 2 minutes to build an e-commerce website. And that's what makes this so powerful and so unique. Now, once the store is generated, meaning once you've gone through that wizard to create the store, let's talk about the storefront itself. And that's what your clients and customers would experience by going to an InkSoft-powered store to purchase goods. So let's take a tour of that first, and then we'll get into really controlling the look and the layout for the store. So the first thing I want to mention is these stores are 100% responsive, which means that if a customer happens upon a website that's powered by InkSoft, you'll notice that it responds to the size of the browser or the device. So whether it be mobile navigation, if it's a mobile experience or shopper, or a tablet. So that's important to recognize, 100% mobile responsive, so you're going to look professional no matter where your customers happen to be shopping from. They're going to have a great experience. Now, let's take a look at the composition of this website. At the very top, we have a header, and I'll show you how you can customize the header. So it's possible to have a logo to represent the store, or simply just a store name, just text. You can control the background color. You can control some of the settings in this header. For example, you might choose to disable the Contact Us little component. You might choose to display a map as part of this component. So a lot of the features that you see here are configurable. Now you also have the ability to enable a fundraising component on a store. This has been a part of the InkSoft online store platform for a long time. However, we've made a lot of enhancements to the fundraising component. So now you can choose what type of payout metric you want, what sort of percentage of profit you're going to give back to the organization. A lot of additional controls to really allow you to go to your customers and offer fundraising as a unique and competitive selling advantage. So think about it this way, the best way for organizations to raise money is by branded and printed goods, since it represents their identity and their logo, and it does so perpetually. So people continue to wear t-shirts, that organization's message continues to be promoted. So the best way to promote a fundraiser is through wearables or printed goods, and it's great for the organization, but you have the ability to actually give a share of revenue back to the organization as a way to help them raise money and promote their cause or their identity. Now, of course, on a store, you can control what products are available, and you can choose to arrange products, meaning you can have certain, maybe 2-product column or 4-product column like you see here. So you have a lot of control over how products are presented. Now, as your consumers go to your website and they choose a product, they'll go to the product detail page. So if I click on this first product here, we can look at the product detail page. Very simple and clean. So allows somebody to see the details of that particular product. So they can see the name, the SKU, the price. They can see what colors might be available. So this product is available in 3 different colors. So as a consumer, I can see those color options. I, of course, can see what sizes are available and select the appropriate size. I can access a size chart. Now, one thing you'll notice, and this is something that's been in the InkSoft platform for a long time, however, you'll see the presentation of it is clear. Here is custom personalization. So in InkSoft, you can configure up to 3 custom personalization fields at the product level that allow you to collect extra information like player name and player number, or rhinestone, maybe you want to sell rhinestone embellishment. So think about all of the ways that you need to collect data to, again, decorate and personalize. So if you're selling to a company, maybe that company wants you to embroider the employee name left chest under a patch or under the corporate logo. This is a way for you to, again, maintain company selling programs and collect the right information that you'll need in order to be able to decorate properly. So in this case, you can enter in, again, custom personalization like name and number. You can define the title, the description. You can even make a price associated to these custom personalization fields. We've also introduced a new feature, which is bulk order. So let's say that a parent is placing an order for their 4 kids. Here, they have a quick and simple way to configure 4 different items. They can configure the different sizes that they might want for those items, and they can, of course, configure the personalization fields that might be necessary. So let's copy Hunt, and I'll go ahead and enter in the different names, numbers, and I've now configured a bulk order for 4 different sizes of garments and I've configured the custom personalization that's required, like player name and number. And of course, I can then add that to the cart. Part of this new platform is we've completely re-architected the entire front end of InkSoft, including the store, the cart, and the checkout experience. So here a customer can see a quick understanding of the 4 items they've just added to the cart. They can continue shopping, or they can view cart, and that will let them proceed to the checkout process. So the purpose of the shopping cart is, again, a summary of the items that they've added to the cart. Here they can edit and make changes. They can remove an item from cart. At the point that they're satisfied with the look and sort of the makeup of the items they've added to their shopping cart, now they can proceed to checkout. Now, mind you, this is encrypted and secured, and you'll notice that in the browser here. It says secure. We give your customer a reminder, secure checkout, your information is safe and secure, and that allows them to confidently proceed to checkout. And again, this is all new as part of the InkSoft store platform. So if you remember when we were talking about the new store creation wizard, we mentioned that there's a step called custom checkout fields. And that allows you to configure custom fields, and that could be a text field like text entry, or it could be a drop-down. Now you can have any number of these. So if you need to collect 8 different data points from your customer, you can set up 8 different custom fields. So here, the very first prompt in the checkout experience is to enter an email address, and that's going to be important to get an email confirmation like a receipt. So we remove any friction of forcing a login or making a customer choose checkout as a guest. They simply just type in an email address, and I'll just type in a fake email address here. I'll put in johndoe@gmail.com, and I'm sure I've already used that email address, so I'll put Gmail1. So here that gives me a little green icon that I've properly completed that step. Now it's prompting me for player name, and of course there's a description. So when you set up these custom checkout fields, you can title, you can describe, you can make required, and you can choose whether it's a text entry, and of course player name would be text entry, so I'm going to put in Hunt. And again, I can then select from a drop-down the coach. So again, you can configure any variety of these custom checkout fields, and these are completely optional, so you don't have to have them. However, for those selling scenarios where you do need to collect information globally and at the product level, you can see how InkSoft has that industry-specific features to allow you to do that. Now what you'll notice here, notice as I scroll down, you'll notice the order summary on the right-hand side stays constant. And so no matter what I'm configuring or doing on the left, the summary is going to remain consistent on the right-hand side. Now this allows your customer to edit their cart. They can apply a coupon or gift certificate if they have one. They see their order total here. So once they've entered in the required fields, they can then click Continue to Shipping. And of course, at the shipping stage, this is where they can choose from a shipping method that you've made available. So remember, you can configure pickup, and you can describe the pickup method. You can put in details and a description. So this is a great way to communicate with customers that they're placing an order. They're going to be able to pick it up on a certain date from the practice field or from the homeroom teacher. Or they can elect whether they want it shipped to a home or business by making that selection. So it's entirely up to the customer in terms of what preference they want based on what you've enabled. Now I can go ahead and click Continue. Now we'll go into the next state in this process, and you can see a little indicator here at the very top. This shows the stages that are involved in the process of checkout. Here, the customer can choose the payment method, and this is based on the payment methods you've enabled. So if you're collecting credit card or debit card and they want to pay with that method, they can make that selection. Or they have the ability to choose a different method like PayPal or purchase order or arrange payment later. Now again, you have control over which payment methods you can allow on a store-by-store basis. I'm just going to choose arrange payment later, and that's going to allow me to place my order, and then of course you would collect money outside of the system. Or of course I could do purchase order. So it's a matter of, again, the way you've configured the store. I'm going to go ahead to the last state, which is review and pay. So here's a final summary of billing, shipping, customer information, the products that I've ordered. Of course, I can get a preview. And this has the very last state, which is place order. Now, I want to point out here the terms and conditions. So remember, when you're setting up a store and you can define your custom store policies, that's where those policies can and will display. So that's an important part of best practices. Most payment processors require that you display your terms for refunds and chargebacks and privacy policies. So again, that's cooked right into the checkout. So here, last step, I'm going to go ahead and place the order, and we'll get a final order summary and acknowledgement. So here's a thank you message. The customer will get an email confirmation receipt. You'll of course get an email confirmation, and that is the last state. So again, a thank you message, a summary, the ability to print a receipt, the ability to look at details, and that is the final state of the checkout experience. So now let's do this. Let's go back to the home page of the web store. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click sign in, and I'm going to sign in as an InkSoft administrator. So that would be you, the InkSoft customer, signing into the website. And that's going to give you access to the edit mode. And this is what makes this store framework so incredibly powerful, is the ease of creating a store, but also the ease of editing and modifying a store, whether that be the look and the layout, whether that be the settings. So once I've logged in as an admin, notice I have access to edit mode. If I toggle edit mode, that's going to allow me to access the style controls, and then of course the setting controls. So let me kind of take you through this. So at the style level, I have the ability to control the background color. Now, when you have uploaded a logo in the store creation process, we automatically analyze and sample the colors that are in the logo, and we establish a palette of colors to use on your website. And that's very useful to quickly coloring the background and making sure that the logo and branding colors are reflected on the web store. But if you don't want to use those, you have the ability to use a custom color picker, and you can use that color picker to define the color, or again, use a color that was sampled. And you can also use different color values, so RGB versus HSL versus hexadecimal. So a lot of really powerful ways to configure a color for the store. So again, custom color picker or a color palette, it's a matter of your preference. Now we can also establish the button colors, so things like the checkout button, making those clear and bold and distinct. And check this out, this is all about live previewing, so you actually get to see changes reflected live on screen. So notice when I click from colors in that color palette, I see the example button update, so I know exactly what my customers will see. So really powerful way to get an understanding of these, the implications of making any changes without having to actually save your website and publish it. You get to see it live on screen. Now here I can also choose the different fonts that display on the website. I can choose the different font sizes. Of course, we default these, and this is not something you have to adjust, but it is certainly an option. Now we've curated different fonts. We will expand this font library, but we want to make sure that fonts display well on web in different sizes. So really simple controls to control the style of the website. Now in terms of settings, these are all the settings that you configured in that store creation process. So let's say you created a store, you didn't add social media links that display at the very bottom of the website like you're seeing now. So you can see on the right hand side in the footer, we have social media links that display. Maybe you want to add a social media link. Well, you can simply go to settings, click social media, and you can add a new social media link, and that will immediately display in the footer, as you can see now on that right hand side. So great way to make quick changes and adjustments to any of the settings, whether that be e-commerce settings, whether it be shipping settings or production schedule, all of the functionality necessary to adjust a store and its feature function will be available at the store. So super simple way to adjust the style and the settings for a store. Now here is the best part of this technology, is the ability to live preview changes to your website. So notice when I hover my mouse over an element on the store, I get these options like edit. So if I click edit on the header, the topmost portion of the website that has the store logo and the main navigation, I can choose the layout. So let's say that I want to have the logo centered. I can see what that looks like live and in real time. I can control the background color. So if I want to remove the color and just make that white, I can see the implications of that. So really this is all about live previewing, and again I can choose whether I want the logo to display or just the store name. I can remove the Contact Us logo or URL. So really simple way to see these changes to your website. Now you also notice desktop, tablet, and mobile icons. So you can actually see the changes to your website and see what that would look like on an iPhone or an Android device or a tablet. So you can have all the confidence in the world that your changes are going to look great no matter what the shopping experience might be. Now I can also click on, again, the fundraising component, and I can edit the fundraising component to change the layout or the orientation. So there's different sort of styles altogether. And then I can control the settings. In this case, the fundraiser has been completed, so you can see a summary of the completed fundraiser. I can email the results of the fundraiser to my customer. I also have the ability to come back to the fundraiser and actually adjust it. Now here you can see the ability to reset the progress on a fundraiser. So for many InkSoft customers, they do a fundraiser, it was wildly successful and they eclipse the goal. Well, they want to extend it for another 30 days and it's great for the organization, the participants, and of course, the print shop. So you have the ability to reset the progress and bring the fundraiser back to 0, or you can choose just to extend the date and the financial goal. So let's say we want to go from $5,000 to $10,000 as a goal. And again, we can configure the payout metrics back to the customer. We can choose to disable the store once the store goal is met. That's an option. Now you have financial goal, but you can also do a unit goal, like we're trying to sell 1,000 shirts or 1,000 promotional items or whatever it might be. Or you can do an open-end goal, just leave the fundraiser rolling. So it's a matter of your preference, but you can see how simple it is to configure any of the settings using InkSoft. Again, I can configure the end date for a fundraiser. So if I want to make that close at the last day of the month at a specific time and time zone, I can configure that. And again, you can see all the changes made to your website. And of course, if you do something wrong, like I've done now, InkSoft is going to give you a error message to say, hey, you need to correct something. So again, I can do percent of profit, configure that percent of profit if you left any fields blank. And I can go ahead and click next and make sure I successfully configure my fundraiser and go ahead and update those changes. So that's how incredibly easy it is to manage products and all the settings from your online stores. So with that said, let me kind of conclude with a few key additional features. This platform was meant to be viable for the future. So this sets InkSoft customers up to continually be successful by selling online. And the way we've done that is we're introducing what we call components. So you'll notice this blue plus symbol in the very bottom right-hand corner. What we're going to do at InkSoft is continually create and release new components to add to your InkSoft stores. So marketing components, things like the ability to put in a call to action and Instagram feed, testimonial feed, a lot of different components to personalize a web store. So if I click that blue plus icon, I can search the different categories of components like product or fundraiser, and I have the ability to see the different components and then add that right to the store. So this component library will grow month by month. And again, different categories of components, whether it be e-commerce and marketing, a lot of ways to personalize these web stores and make them even more powerful. So that is a quick overview of the InkSoft Store Framework. Again, in conclusion, the biggest opportunity for today's decorators and print shops is to leverage the power of internet marketing and selling online. It's relevant, your customers expect it and want it. It's convenient. So think about how you're collecting order data and payment and facilitating selling programs now. And the analysis should be, is it simple? Does it create friction? Is it consumer friendly? Does it allow me to share using social media? Meaning if there's an online fundraiser, can that fundraising organization share a link to the fundraising store? When you ask all these questions and look at your current selling programs and capabilities, you can quickly arrive at whether you can leverage this technology to help you be more efficient, get paid up front, let your customers order individually, but print and process in bulk. So if you'd like to know more, or if you'd like a personalized presentation to see the back end of InkSoft, to see the order manager and the reporting tools that really make this powerful, certainly reach out to InkSoft. We'd be happy to schedule a personalized online presentation for you and your team and answer any questions you have and share some more insights with you.